Warning, censorship. Warning, censorship.
This is all being predicated on science. Our decisions are driven by science. You know, Doug Ford,
Yep.
Hey folks, you know me, I'm proud, I'm for business, gee willikers, but the science says, well, when I look at the stats from this Ontario Science Table news briefing yesterday, Sheila, the stats say, the science says, open up the economy, but they won't.
Yeah, that's an interesting point. Why are we vaccinating people who may or may not already be immune?
Yeah. Well, like I said, Sheila, I'm telling you, the thought process of all these public health officers who were nobodies before this began. Nobody knew. I didn't know Cruella de Villa's name, the Toronto one. I didn't know Theresa Tam by name. They've become celebrities. They are feeding off of this fame and this power they have. They're not unelected, they're non-accountable, and they really believe, as a clinical scientist having a lab experiment, except we, the citizens in all our cities and towns, we're the lab rats. Until we get 100% vaccine, and until the virus is gone, we can't fully open up. They're in La La Land, and again, it shows the fallacy of we're all in this together. They're all getting paid in the high six figures. They've never lost a nickel from this pandemic, so please, give me a break.
You know, I was just giving some thought while you were talking there. I zoned out a little bit.
How dare you?
About why they aren't doing the antibody testing before they give us the vaccine. I think, and I'm becoming even more conspiratorial because of COVID, which is not good for me because I already tend in that direction anyway. But I think it's because they don't want us to know how many of us have already been exposed and we're not sick. Right? If they did antibody testing and I turn up that I have the antibodies, I'm like, but I never felt better.
Yeah.
Maybe then, you know, the sort of bottom falls out of the COVID narrative if we start realizing how many of us were exposed, didn't get sick, carried on our day, and we're fine, and it wasn't a catastrophe. Can't do those antibody tests before we give people vaccines because we don't want them to know how not dangerous the virus really was to them and their demographic.
And Sheila, this is all being predicated on science. Our decisions are driven by science. You know, Doug Ford, Hey folks, you know me, I'm proud, I'm for business, gee willikers, but the science says, well, when I look at the stats from this Ontario Science Table news briefing yesterday, Sheila, the stats say, the science says, open up the economy, but they won't.
Well, I'd like Doug Ford to investigate the science of diabetes and how cherry cheesecake affects your bloodstream.
Oh, hi, friends. What you just saw there is a clip from our Rebel News daily live stream show. It's fun, it's fast, and it's completely unscripted, so you never really know what you're going to get.